Hello and welcome everyone to this next episode on SAP Business Technology Platform training with Cloud Application Programming Model. In this series of videos, we are learning basics of Cloud Application Programming Model. In our last episode, we have seen how to set up our development environment to begin the CAPM development. In today's session, we will see how to cross-check our development environment if it is ready, and if it is ready, how to initialize our first CAPM project. So in the last episode, we've seen how we can have a dev space created, which has different workspaces. And now what we will do is we'll go ahead and see how can we go ahead and create our first project. So a project is nothing but a workspace. And in that workspace, that's basically a folder. So in that folder, you will be putting all your source code, including all the content. So anytime you would ever want to develop any applications, what you would typically do is you will have different layers. At the heart of your application, you have your database layer, which is nothing but the semantic representation of your database artifacts. Then on top of it, you will have a service layer, which is what expose out all the functionality, which is in terms of consumption to the UI user interface. And also you will write a lot of your processing logic like validations, computations in the service layer. Then we will have finally a user interface or a UI layer, which is where we will have all our code. Now, the framework gives you all these components auto-generated, basically all the folder structure for the basic project, and dependencies will be auto-generated. So in your project, you will also have a lot of dependencies required, for example, drivers for database connections, and also lots of internal dependencies to expose OData services, as well as consume the Fiori UIs. So all of this will be generated out of the box from a command line option called CDS command. So CDS command is what we will use to create a CAPM project, initialize a CAPM project. And the project structure will look like something like this. So you will have a project structure. It will have an app folder. It will have a SRV folder for all the services, and it'll also have a database folder for all your database artifact. The main advantage of using CAPM is to develop applications in database agnostic way, which means you will just create all the files with the CDS extension, core data and services. And when you compile, the necessary SQL code will auto-generate according to the database which is underlying. So this way you are abstracted or developing in an agnostic way of underlying database. So tomorrow, if you today using SQLite, you can use tomorrow the same code for SAP HDI or HANA database or with HANA deployment infrastructure. So that's the main advantage of using CAPM framework. Now let's see how can we get a check done whether we have this CDS development kit already installed, which has the CDS command, and then go ahead and use the CDS command to generate the basic skeleton of our project in Business Application Studio. So let me switch to BAS now. And here is where first I will write a command to test whether my development environment is ready or not. So we type a command npx check -SAP cloud readiness space -code jam -cap. So there you go. You can see it is pointing out all the dependencies, whether they are properly installed or not. So Cloud Foundry CLI, this will be required to deploy your application later on to Cloud Foundry. Core Data and Service Dev Kit, which is what contains your CDS command. Then you have CFCLI multi-apps plugin. Then you have a Make and SQLite database. All of this is pre-installed already in the development environment. If you remember in the last episode when we created this dev space, we chose the CAPM type environment, and that is what results to a pre-installed configuration for all these development tools. So let's get started now and generate our first CAPM project. So for that now, I will first create a new folder in my project folder. So mkdir, make a new directory, and I'll say Anubhav CAPM. Enter. So now if you do ls to check the directories, you've got a project created with the name called Anubhav CAPM. The next step is going to just check in out inside of that CAPM folder, the new project folder. So let's go to cd Anubhav CAPM, enter. And now we are inside the CAPM folder. You can open that as a workspace. So choose workspace, and you can see Anubhav CAPM, and I'll say open that. So this is the Visual Studio, or the Business Application Studio is now going to launch your project as that perspective. So you can see actually your project structure now itself. So when you now open the terminal, it will be directly opening it under the Anubhav CAPM. So here is where we will use a command which is offered by CDS development kit called CDS command. You can just press CDS and see all the help options. Yeah. So the first command which we use to initialize our project is CDS init. So let me type in that. And wow, you can see the basic skeleton of the project is automatically created. So you are not spending as a developer too much of time to set up a basic project. This is auto-generated with the help of the framework and its command line tool. So now you can see we have got application. So all the UI code will be inside this folder. All the database related artifacts will be inside this. Then we have SRV folder, which is what contains all the service definitions. Right now, everything is empty. Along with that, we've got a CDS RC file, which is what a configuration file. We're going to talk about it later. And then we got a package JSON file, which contains all the project properties like project name, project version, description, along with all the dependencies what this project is dependent on. And you can see it has also added a dependency on SQLite, which is a mini lightweight in-memory database, which is what you can use to create database table in the system. So we are good with it. Now, in the next episode, we will also talk about a little bit between @CDS, SAP CDS, and @SAP CDS DK. So there are these two very powerful dependencies which somebody would need. And what's the difference between CDS and CDS DK? We will discuss, and then in the subsequent episodes, I will show you how to add a very simple table into the CAPM using our CDS command, CDS definition command. And then we will also see how can we create reusable types and also upload demo data to our project. So see you in the next episode, and goodbye.